you ever set a goal for yourself that you genuinely wanted to accomplish, but then find yourself giving up after a few weeks or even after a few days? You've told yourself, this is the year I'm going to finally get healthy. I'm going to save money. I'm going to write a book. I'm going to stop procrastinating. You weren't lying to yourself when you set those goals. You were being sincere in your thought process. So why do so many of us struggle with follow through? It isn't because you're lazy. It's not because you lack discipline. More often than not, it's because we are told to focus on the wrong. Welcome back to the Deep Dive Diaries, or if you're new here, welcome. We're so glad that you're here. For years, I approach goals the way a lot of people do. I make a long list at the beginning of the year. I'm excited, I'm motivated, and I convince myself that this time is going to be different. And then life says, no, it's not going to be different. Life happens, work gets busy, unexpected bills pop up, your energy changes, your health changes. There's so many different factors. It happens. Life happens. So little by little, those goals start to collect dust. And then, every time it happened, I thought it was me. I was the problem. And I realized something. It wasn't because I couldn't set goals. It was because I was trying to build a different life, but wasn't changing my day-to-day life to build that new life. Nothing changed. Nothing changes if nothing changes, right? There are three common problems that goals fail. The first being is that they're too big. We're focused on the end result, the finish line, instead of what the next step is. Instead of asking what's one thing I can do today, we're asking ourselves to climb the entire mountain at once. Second is our goals are disconnected from our values. We chase goals that we think we should, and they end up being goals that actually don't matter to us. It's much harder to accomplish a goal of someone else's definition of success. And the third thing is motivation. Motivation is great, but it's temporary. There are days where you're going to feel inspired. There are days where you're not going to feel inspired at all. You're going to feel like you've hit a brick wall. Intentional living isn't about motivation to hit. It's about reflecting on the person you're becoming, if that makes sense. So instead of asking yourself, what do you want to achieve? Ask yourself, who do I want to become? If I want to become someone who values learning, maybe today's step is reading 10 pages. If I want to become someone who's healthier, maybe today's step is taking a 15-minute walk. Small actions repeated consistently have a way of changing our lives. I want you to think about a goal you struggled to accomplish. Did the goal fail, or did the plan need to change? If you were starting again today, what would you do differently? For me, I think the plan needed to change. There have been seasons where I wanted to write every day, but life looked different than I had expected. Instead of giving up on the dream, I needed a plan that fit the season I was actually in. For this week's challenge, I want you to choose one goal you've been carrying around, not 5, not 10, just one. And then I want you to shrink it down until it feels almost too easy. If your goal is to read more, read 5 pages. If your goal is to exercise, take a 10-minute walk. If your goal is to save money, transfer $5 into savings. The goal this week isn't to impress yourself. The goal is to build trust with yourself, because every intentional choice is a vote for the person you're becoming. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. What's one goal you decided to make smaller this week? If this conversation encouraged you, consider sharing it with someone who needs a reminder that progress doesn't have to be perfect. Until next time, keep living with intention and keep diving deep.